Churchill received nearly $4,000 from the EMU board to buy new furniture, new lighting, and lots of red paint for the Red Room's grand opening. But she didn't expect that when the club finally opened, she would be the only one dancing.
Tactile design is art for the hands, meaning things we would normally rely upon our eyes to see, like vegetation, Eugene's cityscape, and Spencer's Butte, we use our fingers to see. Martha Snyder had all of this in mind while designing her plaque of Eugene.
Another problem? Well, other sports organizations like the Eugene Family YMCA here in Eugene are taking away customers, meaning fewer kids out on the softball fields and fewer parents volunteering. Well, it's obvious that Star Wars fans have the skill of endurance, but do they have the same skills with a lightsaber? Well, we're about to find out. Oh, I guess my skills with a lightsaber are pretty good after all. Oh, okay.
I'm the luckiest guy in the world because I get to do what I love.
Paul Turner is the owner and projectionist of the Avalon and Dark Side Cinemas in downtown Corvallis. The Dark Side is a 4-screen theater he opened on the second floor of an old department store earlier this month. But his toughest challenge in expanding alternative cinema has just begun. Last summer, Carmike Cinemas opened a stadium seating theater in Corvallis. And with it came 12 more screens for Turner to compete with.
And the downside of it was that we have another huge cinder block monstrosity coming to town, run by a corporation that's in another state that really couldn't give a shit less what happens in Corvallis.
But the Dark Side in Corvallis is not the only indie theater that has had to adjust to new neighbors. In 1999, when the Cinemark 17 opened in Springfield, the Bijou Art Cinema lost its niche with the student community. Why? Well, Cinemark converted its old Movies 12 theater into a $1.50 theater. Cinemark's Vice President of Marketing, Terrell Falk, said, "We believe we can coexist with art cinemas. Their customers are people who would never step into our theaters."
The fear was that so many screens would take away product. Late night sort of stopped around year 2000 and just stopped completely because those were really hard times for the Bijou. The goal is to have good films, not necessarily blockbuster, money, raking in the cash kind of films.
Independent/alternative films are made with a vision, and people are going to like it or they're not. And this theater was made with a vision. People are going to like it or they're not. And it allows me to play films that I don't feel sick to my stomach after I've played them.
In Corvallis, I'm Ben McKee for Oregon News. When Billy Idol wrote his song Dancing With Myself, he didn't think dancers would take it this literally. But at the Red Room, Liz Churchill doesn't have much of a choice.
It's this wonderful dance club, it's a great space for students, and no one's showing up.
The Red Room is a substance-free dance club with plenty of space to move around.
It is a dance club with a great DJ, plays all the top 40 stuff, hip-hop, R&B, everything that you hear on the radio that you love to shake your booty to.
After 32 people showed up on its grand opening, only 8 people showed up the following Saturday, and then nobody showed up.
I don't know if I scared them all away with my intimidating presence or what, but we don't really have a crowd right now, so at the moment I'm just kind of sitting in a desk.
Either the advertising the word's just not getting out enough, or possibly because it's non-alcoholic.
Churchill received nearly $4,000 from the EMU board to buy new furniture, new lighting, and lots of red paint for the Red Room's grand opening. But she didn't expect that when the club finally opened, she would be the only one dancing.
And whenever I went to those type of clubs, there was a big crowd. So there's definitely people out there who would love to come and have something else to do, because when you're under 21, you can't hit the bars unless you have a fake.
In the meantime, the Red Room will try to lure more people onto the dance floor by working with student clubs and organizations. But until then, nothing will keep Liz from dancing.
If the beat moves me, and I'm the only one, of course I'll dance.
I'm Ben McKee reporting for Oregon News. This man isn't an astronaut training for a mission into space. And he's not boiling water for his lunch break either. He's looking at carbon monoxide emissions leaving the chimney of a stove he made from scrap metal. Plans for stoves like this one could be sent to victims of last year's devastating tsunami.
They don't have ways to boil water and they don't have ways to cook food. So our stoves are extremely portable, they're extremely efficient, and they can help these people get back on their feet.
Stove technology is one of several research and education programs at the nonprofit Approvatia Research Center in Cottage Grove. Jeremy Roth and others design resource-efficient cook stoves out of clay, metal, and even these large vegetable oil cans. The mask that Roth wears brings in air from outside of the hut, so he can safely simulate cooking conditions in developing countries.
We're working to maximize the combustion so that they can reduce emissions, and women and children, who are mainly the ones cooking in third world countries, are exposed to less harmful particulates and carbon monoxide in their homes.
Once they're done with the stoves, researchers at Approvatia will provide their plans to the World Food Bank, who will then provide those plans to the poor and the impoverished.
I think that research, by its nature, is something that's never completed. We'll always be working to improve efficiency and emissions, and we're always going to be working to improve the lives of the poor.
I'm Ben McKee reporting for Oregon News. Good morning, I'm Ben McKee, and here's what's making headlines this morning. An Oregon man who authorities say called himself the king of pedophiles has appeared in an Atlanta federal court. The FBI says Christopher Brandlin was part of a child sex cult that created websites promoting pedophilia. A Eugene man filed a federal lawsuit against the city of Eugene, Lane County, a Eugene police officer, and a sheriff's deputy. Cortez Jordan claims his civil rights were violated when Eugene police unfairly detained and questioned him. Jordan and his lawyer are asking for $1 million in the lawsuit because the city is not interested in resolving the matter. Eugene's Police Commission is creating a new model for handling public complaints against police. The commission has been reviewing the policies for the last 9 months, and last night it held its first of 2 public forums to discuss a new police oversight draft model. Oregon's 7 public universities will present updated sexual harassment policies at a state board meeting tomorrow in Salem. Overall, the 7 schools found few cases of sexual harassment on campus during the past 5 years. They also found that students, faculty, and staff need more awareness of existing policies and the procedures for filing complaints. As is usually the case in elections with no state or national issues on the ballot, the turnout was actually quite low. Only about 20% of registered voters turned in their ballots. Local Comcast customers can breathe a sigh of relief. Around a week ago, a folder containing about 1,200 service agreements were lost when a Comcast employee's car was stolen. The contracts contain information like your social security number that could be used by others for identity theft. But after the police arrested the car thief, they were finally able to track down the missing documents. Well, Kristen and Kyle, what you're looking at right here is a big mound of bark. And actually, there were a lot larger mounds of bark yesterday with University Day, which we just learned a little bit about. Now, University Day is something that's been going on for a while, and it's just a nice way to celebrate how the university looks. And it happened to be a really sunny day yesterday, but now it's looking kind of overcast, and we might even be getting into some showers over the weekend. Well, record-breaking audiences did see Star Wars yesterday, with the film's midnight showings raking in nearly $17 million. So many people saw the movie, in fact, that a Chicago-based outplacement firm estimated more than $600 million in lost productivity nationwide. That's a lot of workers calling in sick, or in this case, Sith.